Hello, welcome to the pre-show. What are y'all doing? Oh man, I have my light on. That's fucking brilliant. That's brilliant. We got Liam here hanging out, just fucking turning up all of his volumes. All right, hang out. I gotta find my light. Plug this thing in. See you guys in a minute. Wrong button.
I'm gonna watch the first half of it when he gets the venom. I'm gonna turn it off. Ow! Because he saved Gwen, and then they're like, wow, Gwen. Gwen Peter.
Oh, I gotta plug this in though. Where's the cord? How we all doing today? I'm pretty sure I have most of this set up for today. All right, let's check this phone over.
Yeah, the black suit's the best suit. Good talk.
Good talk. Liam was talking to me. He's like, doesn't talk to me all day. And then all of a sudden at noon, he's like, let's talk to Dad. Grandma's here. Hi, Mom. Oh, shoot. I gotta get 2 videos set up. What 2 videos do I need? I'm gonna play a couple of YouTube clips today. I got one here. Okay, we're gonna pause that one. And I have a second video, which is Stanford. Okay. And then I don't remember which one I was gonna go with. This one. Oop, we got an ad. Skip the ad. Alright, so I don't have the screen on yet.
They hear you?
They can hear me. William's gonna sit and hang out for a minute. Or all day. I don't know. Who knows? This kid. You want to show your hand? You got all the way up to. Hold on. I'd turn it, but if I turn, I'll lose my mic. You'll be pissed. So look, you can get all the way up to here, Liam. Okay. So I'm super excited that Liam's here. Liam, look, throw up some hearts for some Liam. Look at that. She doesn't mean she never even comments when I'm here by myself.
Kelly?
Yeah. Kelly's like, whoa, Liam's hanging out? What did you listen to? Are you listening to the show?
No, I just asked Jason Mewes to shout us out.
Oh. Did he?
Yes.
What did he say?
Shout out Chasing the Whimsy. You just gotta wait for when he's done streaming, and then you go to the clip. And it's like 22 minutes.
So, will you send it to me?
Yeah.
I'll post it. Liam got us a shout out by Jay Mewes. Okay. Okay, there's no lies. She's here, but she never comments. Sometimes she does.
Oh.
Kelly. Kelly likes it more when Liam's here. Everybody likes it more when Liam's here.
Make you mad?
That's all I hear.
That ruined your ego?
No.
Yeah, it does.
Are you kidding me?
He tried shanking me before this.
No, I had knife
Yeah,
hands.
you did.
And I tried to like... What are you doing?
It's not even the actual show, so you relax.
Right, but I just want to know
Do
what
you want me
you're
to crash a real show?
You're going to?
Oh, I forgot how to make chicken and rice. I'm gonna be asking for your...
She's gonna be like, how do I make some chicken and some rice, man? God, this kid's eating like a crazy person, man. Growing boy.
Like some?
He's like,
Father likes some?
I want some meatballs,
Father likes
a
some?
bowl of cereal.
Like father likes some?
I do want a bowl of cereal, though. We have no food because we didn't go to the store.
Like father likes some?
That doesn't make any sense. Like
Father likes some?
You're the best, dude. I absolutely adore you.
Like son, not father. How much stardust do you have on this? I want one.
Which one? What?
I'm in business.
What are you playing? Which one is it?
Your main.
I know, but which one? What are you trying? He's stealing my phones. He's trying to do trades on Pokemon.
You always mess with this stuff. Friendship levels.
God, when's the last time you were on a live? What did we talk about?
I had a broken thumb, probably.
No.
Yeah.
What holiday would that have been?
You're just like, I don't know.
Why are you just quit banging the phone, man? Oh, battery's dead.
No, it's not. It's at 20.
Yeah, it's dead. Sophie knows that that's when it's time to plug it in.
Not Sophie. You like Sophie more.
Yeah, because she's fucking cool and doesn't like bang on my shit.
You sure?
Yeah. She's nice to me. You're mean.
You're mean to me.
You're mean to me.
You're mean to me.
Hey, welcome to Father and Son. They're mean to me.
Yes.
Would you do a live show with me? Of like,
No.
you know what? There was a book about 15 years ago. A guy used to get a bunch of texts from his dad, and he put them all in a book. And it was shit my dad says. It was a bestseller. And it was kind of like a novelty book, but all right. I did run a minute late, so we're almost ready.
I'm born ready.
Born ready. My CPUs are running hard.
I'm sorry, my camera now.
No, it's. I pause it.
Where's mine? Why does Sophie have a unicorn?
We've had this for like months, and you just now realize that there's nothing of you in here.
Yeah, why?
Because I'm waiting for the next one. Because I'm doing the Whimsy Gaming one, and you'll be on that one.
You're rude. Mean face.
Yes, mean face.
How many viruses you got on this phone? Jeez. You went from 20 to 9%.
Did you hear a hello and welcome to Whimsy Live? The show has officially started. I'm your host, Ben, and Liam's here. So when things kind of go off the rails, it's what it is. Whimsy Nooners. Liam's been on here a couple times.
It's not noon.
It is noon.
Why do you call it Whimsy Nooners?
Because it's at noon.
That doesn't make any sense.
Noon? Nooners. Noon, 12 o'clock, noon.
Mm-hmm.
It makes total sense.
You don't make sense.
People need them. Sometimes people need a nooner, and then they got, boom, Monday Nooners.
Usually people are busy on Monday.
Everybody's busy on Monday. This is like the worst daytime that I could pick for the show that I'm doing. Now, if we had like a panel of people, if I was running a game show, maybe.
In your dreams, pal.
And I got none of that. I got, what am I doing this week? What am I watching on TV? And a random discussion on the back.
Are you ever gonna not watch TV?
No, I watch TV a lot.
Really?
A lot. And I'm going to be looking over this way a lot. So that's like, this is going to be a fucking weird episode.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Let's see what we've been up to this week. Liam, I'm going to tell you what I've been doing this week. Not a lot.
I'm going in.
Not a lot. I don't even know what I've been doing. I do know what I've been doing. A lot of work. It's the holidays, so we're just finishing wrapping gifts. Still on my phone. What are you doing?
Leave me alone.
Oh, are we trying to rate?
Leave me alone.
Which rate is it?
Do your nooners.
Oh my god. So we had presents wrapping, buying the last of the gifts. We got Liam stuff in finally, so that came in a day early. We got more stuff coming in today.
He got all mad at me yesterday because I saw what it was. He's like, I'll return it.
The kid's like worse than Rhiannon, man. Just like, so no, I think we're gonna hide that one. It's not give it to him until his birthday. I'm just gonna give him his birthday gift now.
It's already wrapped.
Doesn't matter. Then that's wrapped for your birthday. Would you be pissed if I moved it until April?
Yeah.
We're moving his Christmas gift to April. So
Yeah, we should have a vote and see.
You want me to put up a vote?
Yeah.
What should the vote say?
Does Liam dad love him?
Does dad love Liam? Everybody it picks up. Absolutely. I'm not gonna put up the poll. We should advertise this because like
There's a chat. I missed the old setup.
No, there's a chat. I was gonna put up a poll.
Start a poll then.
No, I don't want you now.
Why?
Look, we got two people here.
You don't love me?
Everybody else is just like listening and just like, oh my god, this is madness.
They love me.
They do love you. And then they're like, oh, it's so cute that he just fucks up his Ben's show.
Yeah.
I'm not putting up the poll is sus.
What? Who said that?
Hi, Grandma. Kelly, she wants me to put up the poll that says whether or not you should get all your gifts. Because she's going to be like, yes.
You're sus, Kelly.
She's defending you. Can we say something? Can we hear you?
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear him. Okay. So with all the holidays and everything else, the big thing that we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks was the Whimsy Holiday-Palooza. And it went fantastic, actually.
No, he flipped out.
We edited it. Okay, so it sounded really good. We got everybody in there. Liam will actually, like this kid.
What's up?
The episode's an hour 15. And as I'm editing it, he's like, he comes, sits down, and he's like, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I was like, what? So I had to pause it. Then he walks away for a minute. Then I start listening again for like 3 more minutes. He's like, hey, today was a really good day. I'm like, yeah, it was. He's like, all right. And it took me like 2.5 hours to edit the hour and 15 because he kept coming up and was like, everybody had a really good time. And I'm like, yeah, I know they did. The games were pretty good. I'm like, yeah, they were. And he just like, I mean, I'm not complaining because he doesn't ever talk to me. So I just thought it was funny that he was just like, oh, he's busy. Let's have a conversation.
Oh, he's a big baby.
I am a big baby. So, all right, Holiday-Palooza was
What am I doing?
13 people, 14 people. We had Sophie, mom. So there's 14 people, and Kari in the back screaming.
Hi, Kari.
He was singing some umbrella song, and he said hi. It was 50. Yep, it was like 15 people on that show. Sound wise, it was about as good as I could have hoped. Mixed feelings about
I'm
some of
gonna
the
claim
games.
one of these.
They're Spindas.
Can I claim it?
No, they're Spindas.
But watch, it's gonna be shiny.
No, it won't.
I'll give you $20.
$20 if it's not shiny.
No. Like $20 if it is shiny, you give me.
I give you $20, but then you have to give me $20
No,
if it's not shiny.
It's just a one-way deal.
No,
Why do you want to save them?
because what? I'm in the middle.
I'm gonna click it. It's gonna be the same Spindo when you.
What happens when I edit? He's just like, "Hey, Dad, what did this Pokemon do?" Trying to talk about Holiday-Palooza. Liam, what was your favorite part about Holiday-Palooza?
Can I claim one?
No, talk about Palooza. Oh, he's all butthurt now.
I enjoyed looking.
The games there were some mixed feelings about a couple of the games. Uh, for the most part, wild success. Like I don't think it could have went better than we. Like it went way better than we had expected. Uh, there were from like a Liam and I standpoint, there was some definite moments that we realized, uh, like how we can make it better for next year or for any other large 15-person event. Um, structure like structurally, there should have been maybe a little bit more like prep pregame. Um, but for the most part, it went very, very good. Um, we did this. What was it? What did I call it in the description? A story gift exchange. So there's a gift with a story, and as we look back at it, as we look back at all the gifts that everybody had, um, weirdly, everybody got like the perfect gift for what they like. There was a lot of like, I don't know. It was interesting. Sophie got like a really fucking sweet gift. Um, Nikki ended up stealing hers back.
I got a board game.
I haven't got a board game because he likes board games. I got the needlepoint, which is cool. Like it was super fun. Megan mentioned we should have said that this is Megan, and then said our story. Oh, okay. Megan mentioned I can't like I like to read the chats, but I can't read it out loud or read it all.
And if you
yes, yeah, it was just a really really fun. Yeah, and I think that goes back to the what Liam and I could have done better. Definitely, we should have used more people's names. Like we were talking like everybody who's listening.
They, them, who.
Right. A bunch of like we just pronouned it all day. So like that could get better. Some of the game organization could be better. There was the one thing I don't know how to fix yet was there was moments of chaos that in which And I left it all in. I liked keeping in some of the chaos when everybody was talking about somebody. Like we're trying to focus on one thing, and then like four other people were like having their own conversations or singing or doing whatever. Boom. um,
Sophie.
yeah, it was super fun. Like, mom had a blast. Mom jumped on.
Giggling.
Yeah, Raina was doing something. Raina had her giggled. Uh, Sophie was like, you hear
So I just yelled boom.
the whole episode is just booming all the way through it. Oh my god, she's the coolest. Um, like weird, like Sophie, you can hear Sophie like every like 2.5 minutes is booming throughout the whole episode, but she was the least distracting thing going on, like at any given time. Um, Family Feud was fun. What was your favorite game, William?
Hmm.
I like the password, the back and forth.
That was too.
Well, to be fair, I'm going to say I like them all, but I'm
White
just
elephant probably.
White Elephant was good, but we can't call it White Elephant because for whatever reason, people are losing their minds because it's not a typical White Elephant. So it's story exchange with the present.
Hmm.
There has to be a wittier name. All right, let's take 2 seconds. Let's throw in some chats. The name of the random gift story exchange.
Hmm.
The white gnome, the white gnome exchange, the pocket exchange, whimsy exchange, whimsy story game.
Way to make it original, Dad.
It's all about branding, dude. It's all about the branding. Then we box it up every year. We throw the logo on it, and then people are buying like story games. Like we could be making games next year.
Sure. Go
You get
ahead.
your official whimsy.
Card deck.
Yeah.
Get bow card deck. Right,
See, you think it's all like weird, man, but I would totally make a game and have it printed. Oh, this kid. He's just like, nah. And then until we do it, then it's gonna be like his favorite game ever.
I'm the idea. He's the doer.
Yeah, he's the idea talent guy. So he just poops on everything until he's like, because he's like, I'll just dig at dad a little bit, get him all trolled, and then he'll make it, and he's gonna be like, yeah, that's how I get him to make stuff. Is I poop all over it.
Put a poll up. Should Ben give Liam more Pokemon packs to open on the live stream right now?
Oh, Megan said next year we should have like a $20 limit and do white elephant, most random thing you can find at Goodwill.
Yeah.
All right, I like it because I think all of us would at some point go to the thrift store at sometime. You and me go to Savers like probably 3 times a year.
Yeah, chat. Should Ben give Liam packs to open on the stream? Spam yes.
No, hashtag yes packs. Um, I like it. Or Five Below.
Yes packs. Say it now.
Uh, I think we could do that. Liam, when's the next time we do a big 12, 15% episode? See, now here's what sucks
100?
is I try to keep him involved and I throw out like, when are we doing it next? And then he's going to be like year 1 or year 2 in episode 100. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, we can't be doing 15 people episodes like every other week. We could. No, dude, it was a production, man. Doesn't it lose its novelty if we did it all the time?
Yeah.
So, um, episode 100 is coming up. Let's look at a calendar. So today was 92,
Spam yes for packs.
93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. February 17th, right now at current pace, is going to be episode 100.
No, I'm out of the chat.
What are we going to do for episode
They don't want to see Liam open.
episode 100? What are we going to do? Is it you and me, or are we bringing people in?
Should just be me and you.
Okay. Oh, okay, Lamb. Hold on. There was a Mind Pockets that we had the other day. What if we did for the anniversary, so year 2? What if we made it like an award show, and we gave out
I'm down.
awards for best guest, favorite episode,
Most viewed episode.
most viewed episode,
Best story.
and then I could do like I remember I can make little like little medals,
Trophies.
trophies and stuff, little plaques, and then we can mail them out to like the big. Click over here.
Right here, click.
Yeah.
Click.
So you can get your check. Grandma loves Goodwill, but now we know what to do before next time. No,
Spam yes for packs, please.
the like as much as the episode was like a little bit all over the place and chaotic, I fucking loved everything about it. I think it screamed Whimsy was totally on brand. But we were talking to Rhiannon a little bit about it, and it's like it was the best we could have hoped for the first try. And then, like as we analyze it, like a day later, we're like, oh yeah, there's definitely things that we could do that make it smoother, slightly more organized. So next time will obviously be better. But I think it was fantastic. I liked it a lot. Like I listened to the whole thing. I didn't have to cut a lot out. What part did I cut out? I did want to put the Sophie's meowing song in there. But I think I'm going to save that for either a short or its own video.
Do you love me?
Yeah.
Let me open some packs then.
No, I'm not going to let you open packs.
Please, one. Dad, one.
Oh my gosh.
Dad, come on, please.
Like,
Dad, please. One.
what's interesting is like anybody who knows us.
Can you make me a Pokemon team?
You're not like this. So they're like, oh, Liam's kind of quiet. He interacts and hangs out and talks sometimes. But people are actually getting to see
the real me,
the real you, in that you bother me. Do you have anything else to say before I move on?
Just when you said, did they know what your dad?
My what?
Who your dad got me?
Oh, Liam. You want to put it out there? What if your mom sees this? Your mom will never see this. We did see Grandpa Ben yesterday, and Liam's like,
ow.
He's like, what's he gonna give me for a gift? I'm like, probably money, probably just cash. I'm like, he just throw money at stuff. And Liam's like, he's probably gonna give me like $30. And I was like, there's no way. You can go closer to the thing. Yeah, so people can see. Look at that. So Liam,
Benjamin gave me Benjamins.
Yeah, lost his shit, and then like all weekend, he's just like flaunting it in my face to be like, you got nothing. I had to steal a 20 to get something from him. But yeah, you saw Dad. Hung out for
30 hours.
About an hour. He stopped by. We went and got food. Sophie played in the play place. So, Liam comes up to me as we're getting drinks. He's like, "You two are the same person." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You guys have like the same. What'd you say? Like the same jokes and the humor." That is true. That is fact. You're definitely the same person. All right, you have anything about Holiday-Palooza? He walked away. Did you like the episode, Liam? Yeah. All right, his attention. He's gone. He walked away. He's done with me now. But just
makes you happy, Dad.
But huge shout out for everybody who showed up and was, hanging out playing games. So I look forward to doing it again. Whenever. That's all I did this week. That's it. This is holidays and the episode.
Go check out Chasing the Whimsy, the podcast, available today on your favorite podcast platforms. Chasing the Whimsy, where a 40-year-old father and his 2 kids take a whimsical journey of fun stories and educating each other about their respective generation. Generation X squares off with Generation Z to try to connect and find an understanding between generations 30-plus years apart. They'll journey through the past and track their journey as they find out who they'll grow up to be. Again, that's Chasing the Whimsy, available today on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube as well, and you can also find the show and learn more about the hosts at chasingthewhimsy.com. Chasing the Whimsy, ChasingTheWhimsy, Chasing the Whimsy, the podcast. Many episodes up for you to listen to already. Go stream, download, and subscribe today.
Grandma loved yesterday. Other grandma.
You mean she didn't?
She just I'm just reading the chats. She gave a heads up that she loves it.
Can I get this and I give you 20 and you give me 10 back?
I know what you're talking
For
about.
the premium pass?
I don't know what you're talking about. Hold on. Like, he's like, hey, Dad, you want to? I know you're busy. He's like, I'm not buying you the premium pass. Wait, what are you trying to do? Okay. Kid, so, what are you trying to do?
I just need the 10 back, because and then you cancel it after 1 month.
What do you need it for? Can you wait until later?
But we gotta do it now.
No, because I don't know what you're trying to hustle me on.
It's
I'm not going to
10
wait for you to like hustle me in the middle of like, oh, I'm going to just rush Dad through a decision.
It's not hustling. Look,
It is a hustle because he's like throwing money. Just trust me, Dad. I'll cancel it later. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
$9.99, and he's saying I'm hustling him. But you see this? You see that? It says
No. So what do you? You're the best person I've ever met in my life.
it says
So what do you?
if your Apple account has already been used by your trial, you will no longer be
Is that one hooked up to mine?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but here.
No. Give me this. I'm hiding my phone, so auto select it. Yes.
Okay, well, if I want to, I don't need a guardian's permission anymore.
Yeah, but you can't bill it to my account.
You want to bet?
I have it fucking set up that says that you can't.
You want to bet?
Yeah, $300 TikTok or $3,000
You
TikTok.
want to bet?
Well, I got the 20. So worst case, I'll just cancel it and keep the 20. Like, this is fucking absolute amazing. Like, he decides.
Oh.
But is it going on my account?
No.
No, but I mean, is it being billed to your mom?
Being billed to you.
Why is it being billed to me?
Because you're the one who has all my Apple Music. And I'm sorry for crashing the show.
Well, at least he acknowledges it. Holy shit.
Thanks, Dad.
I've got $20. What do I care?
Give me 10 back.
Oh. Oh.
Give me 10 back.
Oh.
Give me 10 back.
Absolutely not.
But I want my 10 back.
Oh. Oh.
Where's my money?
You're the coolest person ever right now.
Where's my money?
It's in my pocket.
Yeah, I'm not scared to fill in your pocket.
I'll punch you. Get away from me. Get away from me. Hey. Don't trip over anything. Buddy, Liam's attacking me. I'm like elder abuse. Stop it. It's like the worst live show ever. Good thing you didn't have to leave anywhere by 1. You're mean. God. Cut that out. Flip that. I was trying to tell people that we need 250 more hours
You hurt my wrist.
of YouTube. So I need everybody to
You hurt my wrist.
to listen to
You hurt my wrist.
all right, the 8 people watching, you fall asleep. Like when you're not busy, you just play the YouTube, any video, and then like for like 2 days, 8 hours each. That's 116 times perfect. We're right there. I need 240 more hours on YouTube. What? Why? Because I would like to get to the 4,000 hours. It's not begging. It's just telling people, hey, please, I'm begging you.
You hurt my wrist. You're mean.
Oh my gosh, this guy.
He's abusive.
All right, so TV. First time I've ever mentioned it. I watched The Floor, all 12 episodes. This show, like, I was watching it, and there was a problem with the show that I had to bring it up. There's 100 people. It's a regular game show, 100 people, and everybody has a designated topic that they're um, an expert in. And the idea is that you pin people against each other, and they have to compete with each other's topics. So um, if it's like 90s movies, then on the screen it would play scenes from like a screenshot from a movie, and you have to name the movie and go back and forth. What's absolute garbage about this entire show on the back 3 episodes is it gets to the point where like like when you have a head to head, like it's good, like it's good television. It's fun to see people who actually know like their expert topic, and they're able to go back and forth, right? Like it's the idea of like you have 45 seconds, and as you're guessing, and it goes back and forth. It's like there's a certain drama that you get in with the game show with it, and that's what I think draws people into the show. When you get to the back like half of the show, if you win your match, you lose your category, and you have to steal somebody else's category. So by the time you get to the last 2 episodes, every match is nobody's like original like expert category. So the last 2 episodes, as I'm watching it, the number of like zero answers that people have blew my mind. Like absolutely, like it was the weirdest thing. Is like I watched a game show in which nobody got answers for the last 45 minutes of the last episode. And like this is how we decide a winner is who doesn't know more. Like
That's dumb.
it was weirdly dumb. It really made for really bad television, I think. And there was a huge flaw in this game. And I don't understand like I don't know. I just watched like the last episode. Complete garbage. Um like you can try to play along, but some of the categories are like so far out there. They're like they're like 1800 like Renaissance paintings. And like I can't play that game with like I can't play it from home because I don't know anything about Renaissance paintings. And it's just like it's the weirdest game. Like I liked it for the first 6 episodes. And then they create all this drama and everything. Like I don't know. It wasn't a good show, but it just bothered me, so I had to put it on here.
Are you talking about Mr. Beast?
Yes. What else did I watch? Juror number 2 is on Max. This was Clint Eastwood's latest movie. There was some controversy around it because they didn't want to do a mass release with it last month. They wanted to do a very limited release so that it can still be nominated for awards, but they didn't trust the movie enough to make any money. It's like 12 Angry Men type jury movie. It wasn't bad, and I liked the ending, but I'm glad that they didn't mass release it into theaters because I don't know if this movie wasn't going to draw $120 million into a box office at all. I'll probably watch it one more time. I think it was a good enough movie. I'm glad it's on Max, and it's worth a watch. Like I give it that much, but it definitely would not have been a box office hit of any kind. There's no high drama, but there's definitely like a little suspense. I don't know. I think in the first 15 minutes they tell you basically what's like where the hook is. I don't know. The ending was interesting, I guess. But it's on Max. It's worth a watch. It was entertaining enough. It does ask some questions about bad people bad people who didn't commit the crime be punished, and good people be punished, and like there's this whole like philosophical question on the back end. That's interesting. And then I lost the entire week watching Coach. 19, 1992-ish. Ran for 9 seasons.
It's an alright show.
It's such a good show. Like it is it is a hidden gem of television right now. Um, the first 4 seasons, first 5 seasons, first 4 seasons. It was not. It was like it was barely in the top 100 shows of television. And then seasons 5 and 6, it shoots like all the way up to like number 6. Like it was a number 6 show. It played right behind Roseanne in season 5 and season 6, so it had a good lead in. And then the story got a little bit better. But this show, like my mom, like yesterday, she's like, "Are you watching Coach?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I absolutely love this thing." And I said, "I absolutely adore this show." Um, it is still laugh out loud.
Oh,
Who's that? Jerry Van Dyke is an absolute genius of comedy. Like, there's a physical comedy in Jerry Van Dyke that you do not see in television anywhere anymore. It's on Amazon. There's ads. Fucking watch the show, man. There's something charming about the show. I mentioned it on Saturday that there are moments that like there's a couple of random storylines, like a couple of like random episodes, maybe like 6 or 7 episodes out of the 150 that they've done that don't age super well. Um, but I don't know, like they don't age well for 2024. But if you look back to what they were doing, like they still did it tastefully. Like it was like offensive today, but progressive back in '96. Like there was an episode where there's a gay football player, and uh, Coach Fox is like, "Oh, I can't deal with the gay player," and then at the end, like it ends with like the acceptance thing, and you have to do this all within 22 minutes. But it wasn't. I like. I don't know. It was a very interesting way that they tackle certain topics and issues, but it is a laugh out loud, like every other episode. There's something that you're gonna laugh out loud.
I can stand. He laughed a couple times when watching it.
Uh, yep, Liam confirmed. I did laugh. Um, I'm gonna try and run. I'm gonna find some clips and see if I can find a best of reel because I think Jerry Van Dyke definitely needs. You guys got to see this guy. Like he is doing so much cool stuff. He's so loud. Every up, like he never. He's so hyper, right? And then he just over 9 seasons, he never slowed down. He was comedy genius for 9 seasons, and he plays well off of Craig T. Nelson. Um, Absolute brilliant show. Mom watches it on was that Nick at Night. She records a bunch of episodes, so she's watching it through again. Um, Absolute gem. I love this show. Um, I still have the last 1.5 seasons left to go. So there's definitely a moment where it jumped the shark and it's going downhill. So I'm glad it went 9. Like I don't think this thing could have went 11 or more. Watch it. Amazon Coach. It is. It holds up. Like there are, like I said, 1 or 2 episodes that don't age well, but it's still a fantastic show. And even when I say it doesn't age well, that's just through a 2024 lens. Like if you take a half a step back and realize where it came from, like it's not wildly offensive. Like if you're offended by any of these episodes, like you're going out of your way to get offended.
Like you're soft.
Yes, like maybe you're a little bit soft. So check it out. And then this week premiered the first 2 episodes of Beast Games. I watched the 2 episodes. Okay. So on YouTube, there's 2,000 people, right? And it's a 30-minute video of him narrowing down the field from 2,000 to 1,000. And then on Amazon, for 10 weeks, Mr. Beast has different games and contests and stuff that will get 1,000 down to 1 for $5 million. Okay. The games are interesting. Okay, so here's real quick. Here's a small history of Mr. Beast. He was doing nothing videos for years, like in his room, just doing whatever. He gets a random $10,000 sponsorship, and he takes the $10,000 and he gives it to a homeless guy. And then his video blows up, and he makes like
More money.
like 15,000 off of that one video. So what he started doing is like, I'll take the sponsorship money, use that to give away, make more money, and give more money away. Mr. Beast has been out for 10 years. So we'll call it like the first 2 years, he's not doing much. 3 to year 7, 8, all of his videos are just giving hundreds of thousands of dollars away. Liam showed me some clips years ago.
I got you into him.
Yes, Liam got me into him, but like he would do things where he's buying houses for, some lady who's struggling. He's buying cars for people who can't get to work, and he's
Good
just
guy.
real good guy, just giving money away, and he just builds this empire. As he's building this empire, he learns the craft of YouTube, and he starts to go into like these challenge videos, and that's probably where he found the last 150 million subscribers, is in these challenge videos. A lot of the challenge videos, he had some friends doing it, and then he started inviting other people in. If you go on YouTube, you have like 1 versus 100 type videos where he just pins 100 people against each other to find one winner. Last to leave the circle type things, last one to take your hand off of something. So like some like real like basic like challenges and stuff. Over the last year and a half, he has upped like
The standards.
his standards of what competitions should look like. There's something interesting that I tried to research it a little bit today and yesterday, and I'm not seeing a lot of stuff about. So right now the show is entertaining. It is fun. The way that he's eliminating people, the games that he's playing, the production of this whole fucking Beast Games thing is amazing. Like it is the biggest game show like you've ever seen. There's so much stuff happening, and the size and scope of this thing is absolutely amazing. And he's able to do that because he has hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars that he's able to put into the production of this thing. And it's fascinating to see what one YouTuber did 10 years ago to today and the empire that he's built. Obviously, if you continue reading on Mr. Beast, there's some controversy. It is what it is. So I say check it out. It is interesting. And then the most interesting thing I'll tell you about in just a second. I don't think I have another commercial right now. Hold on. I'm just gonna play forward real quick. Okay, so the second half of the Mr. Beast discussion is what I can't see people finding yet, or what I can't find any articles on, is if you look at the okay, so Mr. Beast has a game a year ago, 1 versus 100, where he got a 1-year-old all the way to a 100-year-old, and he locks them all in these little boxes, and he has challenges in which people are eliminated. Um, there's like the whole row of 40s and 30s, like the whole row of 30s have to vote somebody else out. And he creates this situation in which he pins groups of people against other groups of people. He does this thing where there's like a self-sacrifice um, uh, task, right? So if he's like, all right, all the 30-year-olds, you all have to agree on somebody to vote out. So then they vote that person out. And then he's like, all right, now of all of the 30-year-olds, you all have to agree. He's like, it's like all you remaining 30-year-olds, right? He'll go, I'm going to eliminate all of you unless one person decides to leave. So what happens is you build this like semi camaraderie in the 30 group, right? And you're like, oh, we're gonna do it. And then he turns it on its head and was like, you guys have been friends for like a day now. Now one of you have to walk away. And now everybody's trying to play for $100,000, and nobody wants to walk away. So there's what I can't find is the social experiment, the psychological experiment aspect of it, of what he's doing by pitting these people against each other. So I got 2 videos real quick for you guys that are going to kind of explain a little bit what I'm trying to get at, and then I'll comment again. Where is... Okay, so hold on. Let's go back. Let me see which the first video is. All right, here we go. Okay, so first one. Okay, I don't know if you guys are familiar with any of these experiments. These different type of one's an experiment. One they're all kind of like university level experiments. So I'm going to play these 2 real quick for you. We'll discuss, and why is that one? Okay, so just hang out, and I'll tie it back into the Mr. Beast here in a second. But here is something interesting about humans. Obedience. Hold on. Okay, so we're going to take a look at obedience. What happens with authority when you get a bunch of strangers together? What you can make them do is basically what we're going to try and get at. All right, so take a look. Hang out for a minute. No, it's supposed to hit play.
To an innocent other, just because they are following an order. To answer these questions, we can look at the controversial work of a man who just wanted to find answers to his family's horrific past. In 1961, Stanley Milgram, a young psychologist, wanted to find out how ordinary citizens were able to commit acts of unspeakable evil in Nazi Germany. His theory: some people do horrific things because they obey even the most wicked leaders. To test his theory, Milgram designed a clever experiment that changed our understanding of human behavior forever.
Volume.
The Milgram experiment involved 3 people: an authority, called the experimenter, who was dressed in a lab coat to appear powerful, a volunteer, who was assigned to be the teacher, and a victim, the so-called student. The teacher was the test subject, whereas the experimenter and student were both actors. Following orders, the teacher would test a student who was sitting in another room by asking them questions. For every wrong answer, the experimenter would ask the teacher to inflict an electric shock, up to a life-threatening 450 volts. Before he began, Milgram asked his colleagues what they expected the outcome to be. Almost all of them agreed that only a few of the volunteers would obey and inflict electric shocks on innocent others. What do you think? Would anyone administer shocks higher than 300 volts? Milgram then advertised his experiment as a study on memory and learning at the campus of Yale University. People signed up without any idea of what they were really getting themselves into. The experiment began with the volunteers meeting the other participants. The volunteers then pulled a card to draw their role. Little did they know that they could only draw the teacher. Next, they would be given a sample of a light electric shock in order to experience firsthand what the others would have to go through. To start, the experimenter and the teacher were seated in one room, and the student was strapped to a chair in an adjacent room. The teacher and student were able to communicate, but not see each other. The experimenter then gave the teacher a list of questions. The teacher would then read out the questions and the student would press a button to indicate a response. For every false answer, the teacher would administer a shock, starting at 15 volts and increasing in 15-volt increments up to 450. What the teacher didn't know was that the student didn't actually receive any shocks. Instead, a tape recorder was used to play various responses. In the beginning, the teacher would hear protest or bangs against the wall. If shocks would increase, the reactions would become louder, and in case someone would go all the way, the learner would fall silent. In case the teacher became hesitant and asked to stop, the experimenter would resort to the following 4 prompts. First, he would say, "Please continue." If that was unsuccessful, he would go on with, "The experiment requires that you continue." Then, "It is absolutely essential that you continue." And lastly, "You have no other choice. You must go on." Along the way, the volunteers displayed signs of extreme tension, such as sweating, trembling, and even uncontrollable laughing fits. The experiment would be stopped only after all 4 prompts had been used, or the maximum voltage of 450 volts had been given 3 times. Milgram found that, of all participants, 100% gave at least 300 volts, and 65% went all the way to 450 volts. The experiment was later criticized for being unethical because it deceived innocent people into performing what seemed to be terrible acts of violence. However, his experiment was successfully replicated many times, involving different populations and leading to similar findings. Milgram himself left us with this to think about. It may be that we are puppets controlled by the strings of society. But at least we are puppets with perception, with awareness, and perhaps our awareness is the first step to our liberation. What do you think? Would you follow or question the orders if you were one of Milgram's participants? And
All right, so that video was from Sprouts. Don't even know if I was allowed to use it, so we'll find out when I have to cut this thing out later. But so the experiment, I've known about the experiment for years. It's interesting if you go deep dive into this particular experiment. They started it off with dogs, then they moved over to like humans. The study also shows that fascinating is that the women went further than men did. Like men would stop at a certain point, and women would just keep pushing the button for days and just fucking electrocuting people. But the experiment's interesting. Is I missed the first like 8 seconds of the thing, right? So Milgram is trying to figure out how does the Holocaust happen, and what he's trying to demonstrate is that with a certain amount of authority, how does like an Adolf Hitler get so many people to kill so many people? And it's like one of those things where it's like you have to do it, and it's just like this weird social experiment of if somebody of authority tells you to do something, how far does one go? So, um, interesting. Um, Absolute fascinating experiment. There's a bunch of documentaries you can find on it. But thank you to Sprouts for letting me use your video. I hope you don't mind. One more small one is the Stanford prison experiment. I want you guys to hear. And let me go back over here.
Milgram's experiment rocked the world of psychology.
hear me?
Many people were left with questions about
Technically, yeah.
obedience, power dynamics, and the abuse of power. Philip Zimbardo, a professor at Stanford, wanted to then explore these questions further, and with a grant from the Navy, Zimbardo set up something called the Stanford Prison Experiment. He wanted to see, could a person's role influence their behavior? Zimbardo and his team interviewed 70 applicants at Stanford who were willing to participate in the study for 14 days and receive $15 a day. They wanted to make sure that they chose the brightest and the most mentally sound participants. And after narrowing down their applicants to 24, the researchers flipped the coin and assigned the roles. Half of the participants would be prisoners, and the other half would be guards. Now, the researchers then set up a basement at Stanford to make it look like a real prison. They were very serious about treating the experiment like a simulation. Prisoners were actually arrested in public and taken into prison. They were even booked, fingerprinted, and strip searched. Now, Zimbardo's team also gave prisoners numbers that were meant to be used instead of their real name. They claimed that it would help give the prisoners a sense of anonymity and help the experiment. Guards had pretty much free reign over how they could treat the prisoners, although they had two main rules. They could not hit the prisoners, and they could not put prisoners in solitary confinement for more than an hour. Philip Zimbardo played the role of the prison superintendent. His graduate students and research partners also played roles as members of the parole board and the prison warden. Prisoners were tasked with certain activities like writing a letter home to their visitors and making a case to the parole board about why they should be let off. Guards also subjected the prisoners to counts in which they forced the prisoners to do jumping jacks, push-ups, and other degrading tasks. Now, it did not take long for these guards to start to abuse their power. Within one day, a guard actually hit one of the prisoners with his nightstick. On the second day, the prisoners tried to rebel, and so their beds were taken away. To punish these prisoners, the guards shot a fire extinguisher into the cell. Guards used physical and psychological abuse, including things like sleep deprivation, to punish and intimidate the prisoners throughout the study. The prisoners were forced to wear dressings and stocking caps the whole time. And at some point, the guards would put bags over the prisoners' heads. And since the study has ended, it has since been compared to actions at the Abu Ghraib detention center. Zimbardo has written about the case and its parallels to the prison experiment since. So why did this experiment get shut down? Well, very quickly, the guards started to abuse their power. The prisoners started to spiral. On the third day, prisoner number 8612 started to cry and scream uncontrollably. He threatened to harm himself and call a lawyer. To avoid potential psychological damage or a lawsuit, he was let go. Two other prisoners were let go in the next 2 days. One actually refused to eat. And on the fifth day, Zimbardo's girlfriend, which was actually his former student, came to visit the experiment. Zimbardo and his team had been monitoring the experiment and playing their roles in it 24/7. And when she saw the horrors that was going on in the prison, she asked Zimbardo to end the experiment immediately. She even threatened to break up with him. Well, eventually on the sixth day, he ended the experiment. This experiment showed the world how quickly people can abuse power when it's given to them. But it remains as one of the most controversial experiments in the world of psychology. And there's a few reasons why. The first one is obvious, and it's the case for psychological abuse that the prisoners endured during the study. Is it ethical to put human subjects through that kind of distress and trauma, so much so that many couldn't even endure the experiment? Now, Zimbardo claims that none of the participants have suffered long-term psychological consequences, but the point still stands. And in more recent years, critics have come forward to say that the results were not as natural as Zimbardo and their team may want you to think. Transcripts and audio recordings from the Stanford prison experiment show that Zimbardo's team coached these guards. They told them to be tough for the sake of the experiment. Even the prisoners may have been faking their responses. Prisoner number 8612, who is most well known for his blood-curdling quote, "I'm burning up inside." He has come forward to say that his time in the Stanford County Jail was more of an improv exercise. Many critics have likened the experiment to a drama rather than a legitimate psychology experiment. Carlo Prescott, the experiment's prison consultant, has also come forward to say that the experiment's more cruel treatments were not naturally thought up and executed by the guards alone. He wrote the following in an op-ed. Ideas such as bags being placed over the heads of prisoners, inmates being bound together with chains, and buckets being used in place of toilets in their cells were all experiences of mine at the old Spanish jail section of San Quentin, and which I dutifully shared with the Stanford Prison Experiment Brain Trust months before the experiment started. To allege that all these carefully tested, psychologically solid, upper-middle-class Caucasian guards dreamed this up on their own is absurd, so you can take that for what you will. But let's talk a little bit about the lasting effect of the Stanford Prison Experiment. It seems to have raised more questions than it answered. Where should psychologists draw the line when it comes to subjecting participants to distress for science? And how easily can psychologists blur the lines of an experiment versus a simulation or a drama? And if the Stanford Prison Experiment doesn't exactly answer its original questions about power dynamics and obedience, what similar experiments can? These are just some of the questions that psychologists face today about the experiment. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something about the Stanford Prison.
Right. So, thank you to Practical Psychology. I use their video. You can find them on YouTube. I don't know if I was allowed to even use any of that. But it was better than me trying to explain it. Like like I couldn't explain it very well. Okay. So here's what I find completely fascinating about the YouTube, Mr. Beast in particular. At this point, that's the second experiment for the second child. Okay. So here's what is interesting. If I was a professor at a university and I did these experiments, you get the questions of whether or not it was ethical. What I find absolutely fascinating is when you watch Mr. Beast in particular, you have other YouTubers doing it, but when you create these games where you have to pin 1,000 people against each other, you have these self-sacrifice tasks, you have these tasks where you have to pin one team against the other. What I find absolutely fascinating is, because we call it a game show, is he not doing the exact same thing that these doctors were trying to do in the 60s and 70s? There's the video that he did for the 2000, where he was eliminating 1,000 people for the actual show itself. He has 5 different lawsuits out against him right now because people are like, I wasn't treated fairly. The living conditions during the shoot of that video were uh, uh, they weren't good. They're like the porta potties weren't changed. We didn't get 3 meals a day. The meals that we did get were like very small. So he's got people lawsuiting against that. Part of the idea, though, is like, you signed up to go to a game and compete for $5 million. You sign a fucking contract. You have a general idea of what is expected. Now, Mr. Beast has always stood behind standards for all of his videos and all these games, where he puts in the extra money to make sure that people are comfortable and that everything's on board. He has a bunch of like professionals to kind of help him make sure everybody is healthy, and he says he does his best to keep everything above board. But what is absolutely fascinating is you get all these people who go through all this mental distress, right? So you watch these videos, and these people have been together for like maybe 3 or 4 days. And like, I don't know. It's so weird to explain. There is one task, okay, where he's got 1,000 people, right? And there's rows of 10, right? So 100 and 10 rows. And he says, we can't move forward until 200 people get eliminated. And he's like, the only way we're going to do this is we have to eliminate 2 full rows of 100. And he says, the only way to save your row is somebody has to give up and just walk away to save your row of 100. So like we're calling it a game, but is he not doing the exact same thing? that fucking the Stanford thing was doing and fucking Milgram was doing is he's the person of authority telling people like you can't win $5 million unless somebody in your row gives up. So then what happens is you get these like alphas and you get all these people who are like, hey lady, you're old, you don't need $5 million. And then like you get all these people like berating and fucking like trying to like convince people to leave. Um, as you watch it, he shrinks the whole thing down. By episode 2, I think it's down to like 400 and maybe 230 people. But there's still 8 more episodes in which he will create situations of team and then right afterwards stab somebody in the back. Um, so there, watch it at the end of episode 2. There are 4 teams of like 50 people each. And what he says is every team needs one team captain. And then, so you got 4 teams, you got 4 team captains. And then Mr. B says, I'm going to offer you guys money, captains. If you accept the money, your team loses, right? So the idea is you're playing for $5 million. Liam and I are captains. We're up top, right? And he just starts offering money, like a couple thousand, 10,000, 20,000. By the time you get to the end of episode 2, it is like it's like $800,000. So he says, you captain Liam, if you accept $800,000, you keep the money, but you fuck over your entire team of 50 people. So he now puts Liam in this weird position of like, he goes down and talks to his team and gets them to be convinced that I won't give up, that for the sake of my team of 50, I will make sure that we're still in the game tomorrow for the 5 million. But then Mr. Beast goes one step further and says, if the captain accepts the money, he will remain in the game. So Liam could accept the $800,000, stay in the game, and eliminate his entire fucking team of 50 people. Like it's absolutely fascinating. And it's like there's 2 parts to it. There's multiple parts of it. He's doing the exact same thing all these other people who are being claimed as unethical experiments. He's doing the exact same thing in entertainment. So what's happened in like fucking 40 years is we're now at a place where we will watch people cutthroat deceit. Like we've been doing it with Survivor for fucking 25 seasons. You see all these other competitive games. This one is just on a scale like we've never seen before. Like it's absolutely mind blowing. What like all he's doing is just train like not him, like I guess all of us, we're being trained that we will watch people just devastate, like, and only look out for themselves for the money, and it's okay because it's in the form of entertainment. Like, it's so weird to me. Like, it blows my mind. I don't understand it. Because it's one of those things, Liam. Okay, you have a team of strangers. You take $800,000 to stay in the game, keep the 800,000, and eliminate your entire team. He takes it. And okay, so part of it is like, why not take it? Like, why not? Because you have to eliminate people to keep the game moving forward. Why not eliminate 50 competitors off the top? But then it's like, it's going to be interesting to see where he goes at the end of this game. But the way that this thing, like, I don't know. Is it too far fetched to think like 5 years from now, Mr. Beast is like, if you can kill this kitten, I'll give you $100,000? Like, uh, I don't know. Or he's like, here's Schrodinger's cat. Like, you have to agree to like, I don't know. Like it's just weird. But that's what I think about when I watch these videos. Is the conversation of unethical completely fucking waived because we're calling it entertainment now? But then what happens when like what happens if Adolf Hitler was here and he's like, hey, for a game, let's just kill Jews? And he's like, no, we can't do that. He's like, but I'll give you a bunch of money. And they're like, well, let's just go out and do it now. Like that's kind of like what the two previous experiments were about, right? Is a person of authority can make somebody do something they don't want to. The prison experiment says I can give somebody a certain sense of authority, and what will they do with that authority? Like they shut down an experiment in 6 days of a 14-day experiment because the human condition or the human psyche is like, you know, it's absolutely fucking bonkers, man. I'm not suggesting like in any way that Mr. Beast is like is doing anything nefarious or anything like that, but it does show that with the right amount of money, you can really make people do just about anything you want. Um, I'm I'm a Mr. Beast supporter. He does a lot of stuff with philanthropy. Um, he's building an empire. He's creating content. Like that's what society is deemed what we want is we want more entertainment, we want more YouTube, we want more shorts, we want more drama. So he's only doing what society is dictating that he needs to do to be successful. He gives back. I think he's a fantastic guy. I've read some of and watched some of his videos about some of the allegations against him. So I think he does a lot of really good things. He's taken. We've been watching competitive games for years, like Survivor and whatever else. He's just taking it to a next level. That's fucking like bonkers. Like what Survivor has, what 15 people, 20 people, and he's taking it to 2,000, and for 5 million. But if you take this step back, and that's what the rabbit hole is today, is take a step back and look at any number of things and just be like, what are they doing in the name of entertainment, which is just bonkers. One of the things that you also see is generationally, like you see a lot of 20 somethings in there, and they're just fucking crying, and it's like it's weird how emotional they get. Like they've been there for a day and a half, like they're around one, and they've been there for a day and a half, and they're just fucking bawling like they lost $5 million. And it's like statistically you were gonna lose it. It's 1 in 1,000. Like statistically you were gonna lose them $5 million. Like that's what's so weird. And it's like how like, and then that's so you got these lawsuits, right, where they're like claiming pain and suffering and mental distress. And he's just like, what is the mental distress? You were here for a game. You knew what the rules were. I told you that your row only survives if somebody fucking gives up, and nobody gave up, and we let you go. Like that's the game. And like how upset people, like I get like you go down there and you want to win $5 million. Like I absolutely get that. But when people are like, oh, this is unfair, or
Butthurt.
make it all about them, like it's
Like someone else. Like
like
all their problems are better than everyone else's, so they deserve the money.
right. So like Liam takes the $800,000 and eliminates me as a team, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm crying. Liam's the worst person in the world. But why is he the worst person in the world? He's playing the same game we're all doing.
Because once you do the same to benefit me,
You can't say that the 50 people on your team, that half of them wanted to have taken the $800,000. That's like
life changing.
absolutely life changing money. And like Mr. Beast puts people in these weird positions, and I love what he does is he keeps pushing it to see like what is the most I can do to get somebody to accept to screw over their team that he barely, like Liam barely knows these people. And he's like all of a sudden he's like, why shouldn't it, like if I lose, he's like, I've already watched 1,600 people already get eliminated. The 1,000 from the pre show, and then the 600 people up to day 3. So Liam's like, I've already watched 1,600 people leave. Why not take my 800? I need it. I need put kids through college. I can buy mom and dad a house. I can buy a car. I could be totally fine.
Buy
Why should
myself a house.
why should Liam not consider taking the $800,000? And what commitment do you have to 50 strangers in the name of a game in which,
in the end, only one's gonna win?
right? So you care about 50 people because you're the team captain, but at the same time, you're like, tomorrow, I just know that Mr. Beast is going to pin me against those 50 people tomorrow. So why not eliminate 50 people today? I don't know. It's absolutely fascinating. That's the stuff I look at when I look at games like this is what are people willing to do for a little bit of money or a little bit of advancement? I think Liam and I should do like a game show or a reality show where it's like you could be CEO of a company, but you got to backstab everybody in your team. And like how many people would just be like fucking throwing everybody under the bus? All to be CEO of what? Fucking garbage company? Garbage core? I don't know. It's interesting. What do you think, Liam? Is it interesting? Do you ever look at Mr. Beast videos like that?
No.
Of like he's getting people to do. Basically, that's what he's doing. Is he's throwing enough money at somebody to get rid of 50 people on your team? Because like you're all like, okay, you're hardcore. Your wrestling team.
So,
You have to get rid of half of your team to guarantee you go to nationals, and you get the sweet scholarship that you want to any school you want. Do you throw half of your team off the bus?
no way.
Everybody on the half of your team gets kicked off the bus, but everybody gets the scholarship. So do you not give how many people are on your team?
70.
70. So do you not get rid of 35 people so that 35 of you and your friends can have a scholarship to any school they want to go to? Like, do you not help 35 to sacrifice 35?
I guess I do that because then do I get to pick the 35?
Sure, fuck.
Yeah, yeah,
That's even
yeah.
worse. But that's the weirdest thing is for the last year and a half is you're like wrestling in my team is fuck, ride or die, but you're at a certain point you're like it's only ride or die for half of you if I can help the majority of you. Like it's weird. I don't know. It's a fascinating thought discussion.
I think you're taking it too far. I'm just kidding.
No, but I mean, but it's not that far away from what Mr. Beast is doing and what some of these other games are doing. But I don't know. It's fascinating. All right, that's all I got for that part. Let's go ahead and wrap up the show. I don't know. I absolutely love thinking of like, you know, like it's fascinating. I think it's absolutely
Hey there, Whimsy
amazing.
fans. We wanted to take a moment away from the fun to express how much your support and contributions mean to us. If you're liking what you're hearing from us so far, we'd like to invite you to show us some love on our new Patreon. Starting at just $1 a week, you can help us keep the whimsy coming. That's not just our podcast, but live streams and new projects on the horizon as well. All members get special shout out during our live streams. If you're comfortable giving a little more, please take a look at our gift tier. These gifts are hand-picked by the Whimsy crew to bring more curiosity, fun, and whimsy to you as thanks for your support. Every little bit counts, and whether you support us by listening and subscribing to our podcasts, holding court on our lives, or subscribing to our Patreon, thank you for helping us keep the magic alive and the mics on. You can find our Patreon at patreon.com/chasingthewhimsy, or follow the link on our YouTube channel at Chasing the Whimsy. Thank you again for all the support. Whimsy!
Have you never heard that one? It's the Patreon, Liam. Do you know we have a Patreon?
Mm-hmm.
We got Andy, Nikki and her family, Megan and her family, Joyce, Ann, Ender Frog, EC1, Gooster, Nina, Violet, Anna, my dad, and Courtney all pay the paid subscription.
Okay, so let's do this real quick.
Okay, hold on real quick. So thank you guys for the paid subscription. If you don't do the paid subscription, do the free one. Look at what we're yeah. Thank you guys for the all the support. We gave some thank yous at the end of yesterday's episode, or the one that dropped today. Any support that you guys gives Liam the confidence to come up with fucking like the hardest things for me to do, and me the confidence to put his vision of an episode together. The paid subscription obviously would help some of the artists that we have working on some stuff to help us upgrade a couple of things here and there. But anywhere you can show support, whether it be the likes and the thumbs ups and the thank yous and the comments, the free Patreon, please. Moving into the first of the year, I will tell you about the free Patreon, but we're going to push more on the subscription, the $4 or the $10, because we're going to take that money. Liam, did you know that we Chasing the Whimsy donated some money this year?
Yeah.
Pretty cool, right?
To that privileged school, unprivileged, and
was it low income families? Yes. So we're gonna do that again next year. We're gonna do the Patreon. We're gonna take a little bit from the Patreon, and we're gonna put it into that school, and then we're also gonna donate on top of that. So we're gonna push next year. Add some value to the Patreon.
Whimsy Food Bank.
I would do it. Hey, would you do a food bank experience with me? Have you ever done one? Have you guys ever done a food bank? Like put food together? Dude, it's wicked. You should tell your school, like your team should go do it for a day. It is it's like weirdly the hardest like 2 hours you'll ever do, because like they have a conveyor belt, and then like you got people just throwing food on the belt, right? And you got to make these boxes, and then you got someone who has to carry all the boxes to the pallet, then you got to wrap the pallet. Like you'll bag, like if there's 40 of you and you run 2 belts, like you'll bag like 200 bags in an hour. Like that's how fast shit is going. And it's just nonstop. It's absolutely crazy. So like next summer or next winter, you want to do a food bank? A Whimsy food bank? Mm-hmm. All right.
Not in the fall, because that's Chronicon time, baby.
But yeah, we're gonna start trying to put some of that money to good use. So we're gonna add value to the Patreon by saying we're gonna help kids get presents for Christmas, while you guys let us do our fun Whimsy thing. Okay. Now, what did you want to do? You want to do your commercial?
Mm-mm.
Okay. What do you want to do?
Okay, so do you know who's paying and who's not?
These are all people who paid. So
okay, point to the ones that are 10s.
Are you giving stuff away right now? He's like, I want that 20 back. Okay. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10.
Do it one more time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 Yep.
You're making $500 a month?
All 12 are paying $10. Most we could do is $120. And then they take the fees. I'm at like $102 at most. I love how you do your math. He's like, we're making $500 a month. There's nothing $500 on that screen.
So is that my new mic?
I don't know. How many of these people did you convert to the Patreon?
All of them. The reason there even is a podcast.
You don't know that. You're the reason why we have this podcast. You don't know that I've gone crazy and done Ben podcast. Whatever. You're only here like part time right now because you're wrestling. I'm just keeping your kingdom alive, sir. So when you're ready to come play, it's here.
You're my little toy.
All right, that's all I got for you guys. Liam, do you have anything you want to say? This will be the last 2024 live streaming you'll be on.
I don't care.
Oh, you'll be here next
No,
Monday
so.
or the 30th, right? In theory, unless you have wrestling the day before, then you'll go home Sunday night. All right, so he has nothing to say. Thank you guys for everything. I think there's an outro on this one.
Okay, I'm at $10 back now.
Hold on, check the outro. Nope, that's it. That's all we got for you guys. Didn't mean to get all like Hitler centric and all like deep and on it, but it's interesting things to think about.
Fascinating, right? Fascinating.
It is fascinating.
Fascinating.
It is absolutely fascinating what people will do for entertainment.
Fascinating.
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 I don't know any other words. Look up a different word for fascinating. I'll end it on that.
Cool.
It's cool? No, I don't want to say cool. All right, you guys have a good night. Whimsy. Want to say Whimsy? Nope. Whimsy.
Whimsy.